Now, I'm not sure whether I painted the bottom of my drawers in peanut butter or it painted itself on the corrugations.
Not good, eh?
Not good. Oh, listen, I've stopped tallying. The pen broke.
Every time we pull up, something's broken.
You'd think we'd learn by now. Another glorious morning here. We're on the Madigan line this morning and we have Curtis cooking up an absolute storm. What's the plan today, Curtis?
We'll get to about Madigan camp 6 or 8 and figure out whether we want to push southeast to the centre or if we want to just continue on along the Madigan and then do Hay River.
Yeah, a bit dependent on where I think whether we see a half a track heading towards the centre, we might try and jump on it, but after seeing how thick the vegetation was down near the French line and the way the dunes are shaped and whatnot, it just looks pretty difficult.
Not impossible, but
pretty difficult to transverse that way.
Yeah, just not possible with the time that we have for this trip.
Yeah, that's right. We'll get some bacon and eggs into us, and we'll get on the tracks and see what it brings.
Something off to my right.
What do you spy off to your right?
I spy a track heading south.
After spending the better part of 48 hours convincing ourselves that the Madigan line, followed by the Hay River, was going to be our best option, Curtis spied a track heading south. Our original plans had us heading towards GeoSurvey and the centre of the desert, and we had acquired the appropriate permissions to travel this land. We stopped for one last conversation before taking the plunge to talk about track conditions, expectations, time left, the demapped fuel situation after hitting a headwind from Mount Dare, and whether we thought it was even possible to conquer the original plans for this trip. From here, we left any marked tracks mapped by HEMA and set our course south to the centre of the Great Simpson Desert.
Right, Nico, this is where the real adventure starts.
This is.
No HEMA maps where we're going, just a bit of a rough trail. And we've got my eye on my fuel gauge, so
yep.
if all else fails, get the tow strap out and cruise to tow me around. But we should be right. I think as I lose weight, as I use more water and stuff, I feel kind of gonna get better.
Yeah, that's the ideal plan anyway. Yeah, Pep's been a heavy car, but that's alright. We're on this track. If it stays like this, it'll be great. See what happens. Stay tuned.
Alrighty, so after Madigan Camp 8 we probably drove maybe 1-2 more dunes and we spied a couple of tracks heading off south and they kind of just looked like they were heading towards just a section of trees with dead wood, but anyway we've decided to follow it anyway, and we've now gone past those deadwood trees and we're following it. We put a mark on with the GPS for the GeoSurvey hill, and for the most part this track seems to be heading in that rough direction, so it is getting a little bit rougher now, but you know, we're going to stick with it and see where we end up.
She's a goodie. After being on a high of reaching GeoSurvey Hill, we hit a bit of a low pressure situation with the staking of a rear tyre on the cruiser. After a bit of jacking, joking and spanner spinning, we're off to tick the next challenge off the list, the centre of the bloody Simpson Desert. Tyres changed, back on the road. Well, one quick tyre change later, and GeoSurvey Hill done and dusted.
Picked off the list.
Apparently that bad girl up there used to be, there was a point they used to find in the air when they were surveying for a plane, and it was like a reference point for them, but ever since it's been known as GeoSurvey Hill. It's weird that there's a visitor's box there but no track out to it. We assume most people just do the same thing as we do, kind of make a bit up, kind of follow another track, kind of make a bit up. So our next plan is the red hot centre of the Simpson Desert. We don't think we're going to make it this afternoon. We'll probably put a few more Ks in this afternoon and find a campsite somewhere and sit back and relax. Bloody coming down, probably what's our last June for today. Just clicked over 4:30, so that's knock off time, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere, so time for a beverage. Been bloody awesome down the tracks today.
Great tracks.
Great tracks, good times, good hills, good dunes,
Great weather. Great people.
great staking of tyres,
Great hills.
great hills. What do you reckon, lads?
I thought the pictures were good. This is one of the best ones I've ever had. We found camels.
Here we are, just cruising along through the desert, and we have stumbled across a graveyard. A bit more over there, but looks like the remains of a camel.
After spending the night in one of the most remote campsites that I'll probably ever stay at, a beautiful lamb roast, chasing camels, and going off the maps to make our original trip plan come true, we finally hit the centre of the Simpson Desert. After conquering both GeoSurvey Hill and the centre of the Simpson Desert, we set up camp about 75 kilometres north of the French line. We enjoyed a beverage whilst watching the sunset and reminisced over how epic our adventure been so far and how glad we were that we took on the challenge. Little did we know though, just what the Simpson Desert had planned for us yet.